Alright, we got another video here for today. I already did a gaming video. I've got left to do a coding video and a beat making video. So here's the beat making video. So first of all, let's stop this right here. Let's stop that music. So we're gonna do many things in this video. We're going to first of all, we're gonna create a very nice setup to work with. That's going to maximize my desktop setup. So I have a Kai MPK Mini with a keyboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the drums. Let's actually take the camera here and show. So what we're going to do here, we're going to take the drums. We're going to put trap drums on there. We're going to put chords here. Maybe we'll put bass here. Maybe we'll put something here. I can't figure it out. I think we'll put, I don't know yet. I can't figure it out. So the beauty here is that on here, on the keyboard here, we can play something, and then on here we can play something. So I think 808s will be good down here. Then up here would be good to put like maybe chords, maybe lead. So the way to do it that I think is really cool is that that with Ableton you can split the keyboard up by octaves. So once you have the bottom octave, you can put an instrument there. Then at the top octave, you can put a totally different instrument. So for example, let's say for the keyboard, I want to put an 808 at the bottom, then I want to put a bass at the top. You can do that, and then you can use the transport, the pitch, to shift it around. And you can do the same with the MPK Mini. It will be less like, it'll be less adjustable, because actually it won't be less adjustable. It'll be just as adjustable. So let's go ahead and do that while we're here. So let's, first of all, we're going to set up the microphone to record the audio, because it's all about just going straight to work. So basically by that I mean that we want to start making music as soon as possible. So here what I'm seeing is that okay, so that's working right there. So now we're gonna cut that off. I don't know if one of these is mono or not. Oh, it's in, okay, so it's in number 2. So it's that's why I had to choose number 2. All right, we're doing good. From here, now we want to set up a nice setup. Now this is gonna be a little bit more work than I wish it was, which I'm not happy about, but you know, we're here now. So let's go to beat making. We got a new folder, nothing in there. Stems, nothing in there. So this loop drums is supposed to be where my sounds are, so I have to figure out where my sounds are. We got acapellas, which is pretty good.
Keeps the silly game we play. Now look at this.
But yeah, we want wow, so I don't have any drums on here, so I gotta add some drums. Alright. Let's see, how can we do this? So the funny thing is my drums are actually here in the X amp. They're actually in a beat maker. Oh, I see. I moved it. Alright, so let's go here. I freaking moved it. I actually caused that problem there. So yeah, I just moved it. So it's gonna take a little bit to get this one working. It's down here at the bottom. Alright, so while we're waiting, we're gonna actually just set up a synthesizer. So the whole thing that I want to do here is I want to be able to play synthesizer, bass, chords at the same time. I know I only have 2 hands, but you can make it happen. So this is what I figured out over the years, is that it's actually really cool. So you take this here, you got the MIDI here, right? So with this MIDI track, you essentially put an instrument rack here. Then in this instrument rack, you put a chord here. You put it inside. That's what she always asks me to do. Then from here, so this is the chords. You could do chords on a scale, which is actually really cool, because once you do that, then you can make it so that you only play chords in a scale, and then you could flip it too, which I like to do. So there's another way of doing it that you only play like chords that are major minor. You choose their major minorness. So we'll start with the first one, which is every note is in a chord. So I just do 4, 11. So the chord here, so the first note, so these numbers right here, so the 4, for example, that stands for the semitones from the root note. So the root note is always there. And then you have 2 more notes here. So anyone that knows any music theory actually should include a 7 there for the 5th. So anyone who knows, they know that 4 is a major 3rd, 7 is a perfect 5th, 11 is a major 7th. So that's everything you need to make a chord progression. I'm actually gonna stick with operator because you can make a lot of good music with sine, and then you could always just replace the sine waves with something else. So never forget that. That's really important here. Alright, so let's see. I'm not getting any keyboard here, so let's solve this. So you can hear now? That's exactly what I was looking for. Alright, so here you can change up the you can just switch it up a little bit. So there's different ones. You got the square. That's usually only good for bass. Alright, I'm going way too long-winded on this. I'm liking that square bass a little too much. Oh, that sounds even nicer. Alright, so we're gonna switch it up here with the keys. We're gonna put the number 1 here to get me to. It's gonna be kind of hard to explain this going fast. So I apologize, y'all. I'm just trying to get y'all straight to the sauce because I know that YouTube is fickle. So I know you guys need to see like action immediately. So I wanna get it that way. All right, so let's go straight 3, 4. So now every time I switch the 1 here, I have the 1 button. I set it up so that it switches from a major to minor chord. Well, so I have to do the 11th now. And then once I do the 11th, then it'll be completely set up. So it's the 11, well, let's do 10, then 11. Let's do it that way. So yeah, so you can already get into some music. Then for here, you can actually if you know the chords you want to play really well, then you could switch. You could press 1 in between the chords to switch them from major 7 to minor 7. Now I haven't figured out a way to add the ninth because I always like a ninth in my music. All right, enough of that. I'm going super long-winded, just having a good time. So here on the keyboard, this is on the instrument rack. Okay, so let's say for example I got chords here. All right, so we're actually on the keyboard. So here, let's try to think. What kind of things would you want on a keyboard? So on a keyboard, I probably want chords. All right, then I want 808s. It took me a long time to think of that. So I'm gonna stop the chords at C, and then from C down, I'm gonna put the you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the drums. I'm gonna put the 808s, and that's how I'm gonna do it. So you don't want to do a drum rack. You want to do a sampler actually, because you want to be able to change the 808 that's playing at any time. Now I wish this would be a prayer. I am praying for this. So being able to switch the operator chords for really easily, that would be something worth praying for, because I would love to be able to switch my chords, like the actual preset of the chords, without really going in and tweaking it myself. Now I know that you can do it with Tau UNO. I just don't have it here. You can really do it with any plugin. It's just you got to do it manually. So let's get these drums in here. So these drums should be loaded by now. All right, we got 808s here. So we're gonna take every 808 here. We're gonna drop it in here. That's not working. Alright, so we're going to drop everyone into here. We're going to use a selector, then we're going to distribute ranges equally. So now we're getting into the fun stuff. The rough part here is that it's going to be hard to switch both the 808s along with the drums. So I actually don't have a solution for that right now. I guess I could tweak the 808s manually. But you can see now, if I just actually, because it's the bottom half here is right here. Because that bottom half is all 808s, I can use the pitch here, and then I can pitch it up 24 semitones, and then you actually get a legit bass. We actually throw it up 36. So a really interesting thing I'm noticing right now is I could actually do all three on one. Then I could do like, wow, that's actually kind of cool that I just considered. So you could do all three in one with all ends, because I only have 2 MIDI controllers here. You could actually set it up. We're actually going to set it up that way since I'm here. Like, I'm just kind of inspired now. Anytime I get started working on this music stuff, I get inspired. Eventually, it's just hard to get started. So here we got the drum rack. We're going to drop that in here. And now we know for a fact I set up my MIDI controller so that these bottom 8 here, are set up to the. They're set up to the. Basically, they are set up to the pads on the Akai. So the way to handle this, it's actually kind of easy. It's actually not easy. So it's a trick here actually. You gotta take a sampler, drop it in here. Actually, you want to drop it all the way down here. Alright, so you take samplers, you make copies of them real quick. Can you get multiple at once? No, you can't. So yeah, you just blah 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 blah. Let's see, bank 2. So interestingly enough, the vibe doesn't change when I change the bank. I guess I must not have thought about that. Alright, so just the bottom 4 are going to do it. So here, this is where it gets really nice, is you can actually set up, and this will put you ahead of everybody. This will put you ahead of all the competition. So basically, you take your kicks, and you don't really want to take all of them, but the thing you want to do, I wish I had a set of kicks that I liked, but I don't, so basically the thing you do is, I'm just going to take like 15 of them. So you get the kicks, you bring the zone up here, you drop them in there. You can have up to 127 of them. Then you set up the I'm actually not seeing the part that you use. Here it is. So there's these macros here. So you can set the macro here to macro 1. Actually, that's not the way you do it. So actually, how do you do this? There's a way to do this. Edit macro map. Oh, okay. I got it now. So you actually take this boy up here and then you map him to macro 5. So that'll be here, and then you can rename it. I like to call it a kick selector. So now, okay, let's just add some more. So from here, then you have to take the edit MIDI, so that's Control M. You could also up here, go to Options, Edit MIDI Map, and then up here you got to click on the one you want to edit, and then you got to twist the knob you want to use. So then you actually have a kick. You can change the kick just by turning this knob, and then you could do that while you're making beats. It's like the best thing ever. Alright, so let's think about the things we want here. So we want kicks, claps, snares. That's really it. Kicks, claps, snares, some sound effects, yeah. Alright, so let's like I said, we're gonna have to redo this later because I want to definitely choose all the hi-hats that I'm gonna use, but until then, we're just gonna take these that we got right now. Alright, so we got the hi-hats there. We're gonna add some more hi-hats. So we're actually gonna do hi-hats all the way across because the hi-hats are like, I don't want to say this, but I'm saying it. The hi-hats are like really important as far as the whole music game. Like the hi-hats set everything up. So, oh wow, okay. So I'm gonna have some free, actually, free space for knobs. So it's okay to like use some knobs on other things like the 808s. Wow, that's exciting. Okay, so the reason I say that is because here on the hi-hats, all of these are the same. They're gonna all use the same distribution. And I know this ain't gonna make no sense. So until it's done. So man, I've been doing this Ableton shit for so long. Alright, so now you take that. So this is what I mean by they all have the same distribution. So you take this up here, blat out, and then you map it to macro 1, and then you take the next one, you also map that to macro 1, which they're calling sample selector, and you take that, you map it to macro 1, then you take this last one, you map it to the same one, then we're going to change this to hat. Hat selector, right? So now we're getting really wet here. So now when I change the hi-hat, okay, forgot to map the MIDI, so you got to map the MIDI too. But you know, we're getting in a great place right now. So dude, this is so sick. You could change the hats live. Like, I hope that you're appreciating this. So the next thing here is the arpeggiator here gives you the ability to make instant trap drums, instant trap patterns. So you want to drop an arpeggiator on all of them, except for the first one. That's just the way I do it. It's just the technique I came up with. You're really just observing a technique that I came up with on my own. So you can hear that. I'm just holding the button down, not tapping it many times. So you can hear here. So we're gonna go to 147. Just being realistic. I think I'm getting interrupted right now. It's annoying. I'm just gonna pause the video. Actually, I'm not gonna deal with this.